Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Cone Dodger here. It's been some time since I did a vlog, so what better time than now? We got plenty to talk about today, since it's been such a long time. So I don't know exactly how much time it's been, really, since we last talked, if you will. But I know it's been a while, and I think the last time I gave an update, I was really giving a lot of update on the Conelander stuff, and that's all pretty much set in motion now. The Conelanders thing, it is a group that has formed that isn't exactly what I set out to do, but it is now, you know, it is just a group, or not just is, but it, you know, that is what it has become, a group of, we'll say, like-minded people that somewhat want to produce content and somewhat are just, you know, like-minded and have similar interests. It's been somewhat successful for content creation. Overall, the Assetto Corsa league and stuff like that has not gone over as well as I would have hoped, but I am also a person who, I'm never happy. End of story. I'm never happy with how things are going. I'm never satisfied, I guess is the correct word to use. I always want things to be better, and every week when we get together to do that, I want things to be better. I want the league to run smoother. I want the races to go better. I want my commentary to be better. I want the story of the race to be more interesting and stuff like that. It's a very frustrating way to live your life, and I don't recommend it because you're never happy. It's very difficult. However, I think it's that mentality that I have that maybe pushes my content to be more polished than some, and that may eventually work out to an advantage. We'll see. I don't know. Overall, though, it's made things more stressful for me over the past couple months than it needed to be. I kind of went into it thinking it was going to be like a little small experiment, and it grew very quickly into something that was much larger than that. I was not prepared for such things, and it for a little while there, it grew a little bit out of my control, and it made me feel very uncomfortable because it was like I created this thing that then all of a sudden people were like depending on. People were like counting on this thing existing, and I wasn't ready for that. Like, I wasn't ready for that level of people depending on me, and it was a difficult little transition we had there. I kind of just put a little bit of a lid on everything, and everybody, let's just calm down. We don't need to be taking over the world one racing league at a time. But overall, the past month or so, things have been looking up for that. I'm not as stressed about it, and I guess it's worked out for the better. Again, and I know a lot of you guys are listening in the group. Just know that I never expected that kind of turnout or that kind of following within that group. So if I seem unsteady or unsure or nervous about it, I sometimes come off as very cold and harsh against people making suggestions and things, and it's not as though I don't want the suggestions and I don't want the feedback and support. It's that I don't want to push it, and that's been the main thing. Is as soon as people got into it and the competitiveness started to come out and people started get behind the idea, people also wanted to push it further, and that's what started to make me feel uncomfortable because I wasn't ready for that. I was pretty content to leave it, just a small little experimental, let's playing based league. And it grew very fast from there and turned into something that is more like an actual like professional league. I don't know. I'm rambling now. It's been getting better, and I have now, I think, a better idea of what we're doing with that and what I need to change and what to do with that group now, because at first I had no idea. So yeah, there was a while there I was spending 20 or so hours a week, you know, many hours on certain days just focusing on that stuff. We've had the 240 project that for a couple weeks there I pushed really hard to make that happen and make sure that you guys felt like you were supporting a project that was real, because I started to get to the point where I didn't believe it was real. So yeah, I just kind of like buckled down on it, made sure that we made the progress that we needed to make it feel like a real project. And as soon as that car started and it made noise, it felt real again. Like this is something we're actually doing, and now I'm very much so re-inspired for that whole project. Very excited to move forward with it. I think it's going to be awesome. It's still a big waiting game, A, because I just have way too much going on to dedicate the time to it that I need to, and B, it's an experimental thing, so you know, I can't just go down to AutoZone and pick up the parts I need for this. You know, I gotta research the stuff online, buy it, wait for shipping, stuff like that. It's not like you see on TV, you know, it's not even like Roadkill. You know, Roadkill, oh crap, we broke, you know, we bent a valve in this engine and now we're stuck in the middle of this desert, and some fan drives out and breaks a push rod to them, you know, or, you know, a new valve train. That stuff doesn't happen in reality. That's beyond reality. It's cool, like, for that format of a show, it's really interesting and awesome to watch, but I just hope people realize that's not how things work in the real world, especially in the real car modification world. And when it comes to the car modification stuff, I have decided recently, that I am going to kind of break up the Cone's Garage and the motorsports and the real world car stuff and the gaming channel. Not going to completely remove the car stuff from the YouTube channel, Cone Dodger 240, but I'm basically only going to limit that to stuff pertaining to the 240. Like, well, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Cone Dodger 240 should be about the 240. But more than anything, I wanted to give people that are interested in the car stuff that I do, the mechanic stuff, the racing stuff, I wanted to give those people a place to find that content, that they're not also, like, assaulted by gaming videos, as over dramatic as that is put. But that's the whole point of that. So yeah, I'm going to do a Cone Dodger Motorsports channel. It already has like links, playlists, and stuff like that to all the car motorsport stuff that I've done in the past on Cone Dodger 240. But that's also a place where I might put stuff that's a little bit more off topic, a little bit more random. Might not necessarily be stuff that gaming people are interested in. This guy with 10,000 pounds in his trailer is swerving in between lanes. Florida. Alright, time to spend the money. There's a Lotus over there. There's a Lotus over there. So when I say other stuff, I mean like the Supra project, things like that, I will probably put on that channel alone. So there is reason to follow it if you just follow Cone Dodger 240. You just follow Cone Dodger 240. But like with the Supra project, I intend to live stream a lot of that stuff. So that's something that you can look forward to. That will be crazy and interesting. I know a lot of Automation guys did it, and it was just so much fun doing it that style. It's just like hanging out in the garage, except with me. It was interesting enough that I think I want to try that. Jonathan seemed like he was on board with it, so you'll probably see the 240 project, or sorry, the Supra project, kind of come to life in that way. And I'll probably just put those like live stream archives, stuff like that, up there on that channel. And then any other kind of like odd jobs or things that I think aren't relevant enough to me to be on the main channel, we'll go there. And in the future, if that portion of YouTube works out for me personally, that might be something to, you know, build in the future. I wouldn't mind, you know, having my own motorsports or, you know, car related channel. I'm just not limiting myself to either right now. Really, the only reason I'm doing the two channels is to try and make the unhappiness from people that find me or find the content related to the car stuff that I do. They find it and then they subscribe and then they look at their sub box and it's full of stuff that's just, you know, totally irrelevant to what they found, and that will either make them unhappy or make them leave. So to give them a resource, or to give you a resource, maybe you're watching right now and you're like, you know what, I don't care about the gaming stuff, all I want to see is the car stuff. Or maybe you only like the gaming stuff, you don't want to see the car stuff. Either way. But yeah, just to try and make that a better thing for you guys. I'm going to do the divide there. We'll see how it goes. Everything I do is an experiment, so maybe it'll be terrible and maybe we'll go back to the way it was. Who knows? Who knows? And then there's a whole other thing that I've been dipping my toes into recently, and that's a little bit of game design stuff. I don't want to or can't go into too much detail with that, but basically the Automation guys have a project that is quite relevant to both my interests and to some of my previous knowledge of game design stuff. So we got to talking about that and have kind of started collaborating on a project related to that, and that will be part of something much bigger that I have been really excited about for a long time, and can't wait to bring to everybody. So it's not something that I can really make content on, but it's just another thing to take time away from what I can and can't do. But on the flip side, it's something that's making me feel better about myself. Like I feel like I'm working towards something, and for a while now I kind of felt a little bit lost within myself there. Like I wasn't working towards anything. I was just kind of going along day to day, and this is what I do. I record a video, I put it on YouTube, 100 people watch. You know, it's just, that's the monotony of that was starting to get to me. Like I wasn't working, I wasn't progressing towards anything. Progressing towards anything. I get comments all the time on YouTube like, oh, I just can't believe you don't have more subs or stuff like that. And although I really appreciate that, I understand why. I am my worst enemy when it comes to YouTube and the growth of the channel and things of that nature. I don't promote myself. I don't try to like build an audience, because for whatever reason I'm so obsessed with all of that happening, you know, naturally. I want people to find my content, find it to be good, and then want to be subscribed to me. That's basically the wrong way to YouTube. If you're out there wanting to create a YouTube, don't do what I do. Alright, well, I need foods, so I will be right back. Alright, food gets. Let's continue. Don't have too terribly much time left here, but just know that that's going on. I'm excited about it, and it's something that I think you guys will be pretty excited about when it comes to light. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut this into like an earlier part of the video. Things to look forward to on the channel soon. Probably F1 2016. Has to do with what the scheduling looks like between me and whoever happens to be the participants in that. But Codemasters seem pretty confident about having a working co-op. It's not really a co-op like we used to do, but multiplayer championship thing. So I'm sure we'll find something to do with that. Whether it be me and Kurt, me and Joe, me and whoever, I think it would be really awesome to do the series with like me on a solo team and then Kurt and Beef on a team. I think that would be good and hilarious. But I don't know, that's just a dream. That's up to Beef. Beef was the one who I could tell by a couple races into their 2014 season, he just wasn't enjoying it, and nobody wants to make content that they don't enjoy. That's just not something anybody wants to do. Even though I loved the series, thousands of people loved the series, it was so much fun to watch. Beef is hilarious and is perfect for that kind of role. If he's not enjoying it, it's not a series worth doing, and I hope that people understand that. I'm sure the people watching this vlog right now, or have made it this far in, understand that, but unfortunately the 13 to 18 audience probably isn't going to get that. They just want their videos. God damn it, where's my videos? Where's Beef? Give me Beef. It is what it is, but that's something to look forward to for sure. I think that's going to be super interesting. And overall, just how I've been doing. I mean, that's the things we've gone over. It's pretty much everything that I have been doing lately. Just been keeping myself pretty busy, which is nice. I like being busy. I don't like sitting around because, yeah, I'm real, on a personal level, I'm real focused right now on feeling like I'm getting somewhere, and that's positive or negative. Hopefully it's the push I need to get somewhere, because I feel, as I'm now halfway through that last year before 30, and I don't know, I feel a lot of pressure to do something, to feel like I have something to be proud of, and getting there. I'm not there yet, but if I feel like I'm not pushing towards that, then I really start to feel like I'm getting down. I don't want that. I am so ready for summer to be over. About 2.5 more months before we start to get reasonable temperatures. But yeah, it's been real up and down for me as of late. Like, a good thing will happen, and then I don't know, I get into my own head too much and start to convince myself, well, that was probably actually a bad thing, and get myself down. And when I'm not feeling good, when I'm feeling down, I can tell it makes the things that I'm doing not as high quality, and I think that's true for pretty much everybody. And if we're gonna be honest, I have not been feeling, for maybe the past year or so, I have been feeling pretty shitty about myself, and that I follow so many people that are in that same mindset, and it's comforting to know, like, in a way, it's comforting to know that, like, I'm not the only one out there who feels like, God, I'm not doing anything with my life, you know, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not making any progress and stuff like that. On the flip side, it's also like frustrating because there's so many people that I know and people that I respect and even look up to that are kind of facing the same problems, and it's like, well, how do you get ahead in life? You know, what's it take? How do you not feel like this? At times it almost just kind of feels like there isn't a way to not feel like you aren't successful, or you are making all the wrong choices in life. And I don't know, I guess I just hope that one of the things that I'm working on is the thing that I actually feel good about, like the thing I actually feel like I was successful at. And people will say, oh, don't be like that, you know, I think you're successful at this, and you know, I wish I could be as successful in this way as you are, but we all know that inside our own, like, goals and aspirations are unseeable by other people. We measure our own success in our own personal way, and no amount of people saying that, oh, well, I think you're successful, will make you feel better about that. And sure, I feel great when people say things like that. It's very nice, but inside I still just don't feel successful at really anything. And I want that to change. Unfortunately, I don't think people telling me that I'm successful at things convinces me, and that's terrible. That's a horrible thing. And random cut to the end. I think that will wrap up this vlog. It's super weird. I went on a lot of random tangents, but that's pretty much always. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I absolutely 100% appreciate the support, both on the channel, on Patreon. The whole Patreon thing has been phenomenal lately. I can't express enough gratitude to all of you for making the 240 Project a reality, and I think you're really going to be excited to see just how far that goes in the future, and how much content that will create. And I think it'll be cool for you guys to be part of that journey. But that'll do it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for your support, and I will see you next time.